Mr. Heavyweight Boxing today.
Hey, what's up, man? This is Chris, the Nightmare Ariola, and you're watching Mission Boxing Today.
Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? All right, so on paper, this fight right here is a sizzling fight, man. Jennings versus Oscar Rivas. Now, they're saying that this fight is set for January 18th, all right? But before we get to that, Oscar Rivas has a fight coming up December 1st against Fabio Maldonado, okay? Now, Maldonado is a guy, if you guys are MMA fans, he's had some MMA fights. I actually watched a fight with him and Fedor. Pretty entertaining slugfest, man. They could have probably stopped that fight in favor of Maldonado. But I seen that fight. I seen Maldonado get stopped by Miocic. I believe that's the guy's name, the guy in the UFC. He got stopped in the first round, Maldonado did. So he's had, he's a pretty solid fighter in the MMA. Obviously, his professional boxing record looks very glossy. 26-0, I believe he's 25 KOs, okay? If you go look at the guys that he has fought, literally out of all his wins, man, those 26 wins, about 17 or about 14, 15 of those guys had losing records, and about 3 or 4 of those guys were making their pro debut, okay? And Maldonado, he also was out of the sport for about 5.5 years in boxing, and then he came back in 2016. All right, I believe he had a time gap somewhere in 2010, and then he came back in 2016. All right, so he has fought no one of note his whole career. All right, he turned pro in 2002. Hasn't even fought a fringe contender, washed up journeyman, guy that probably fought for a title years ago. Nobody. He's fought completely not one name you'll recognize. All right. Now, based on their styles, though, I think this would be entertaining while it lasts, Rivas and Maldonado. I'm picking Rivas to knock him out within the first couple rounds. Just based on their styles, Maldonado's going to come forward. He wants to bang. But I think Rivas is just the all-around better boxer, just a sharper puncher, quicker, faster, better defense, better technician, throwing his combinations. Balance seems to be a lot better. Just seems to be the all-around stronger boxer, all right? Maldonado, in my opinion, when I watch him work out and hit the mitts, he has more skill level than your average MMA fighter, especially guys that are coming from wrestling and coming from different, backgrounds of mixed martial arts, things like that, all right? But as far as pure boxing, though, being in the ring, Rivas just looks sharper, just looks like the better fighter. I think he'll knock him out within the first couple rounds based on their style. Maldonado's not going to run away from a fight. That's one thing that I noticed watching his MMA and his boxing. He comes to slug, man. Like that dude. So that's what I'm saying. It'll be entertaining while it lasts. Now, anything could happen, right? He can land an overhand right or a left hook, you know what I mean? But I see Rivas knocking him out within the first couple of rounds. I think they'll both come forward head to head, and I see Rivas just out slugging him. I think he's just like I keep saying, just a better fighter. All right, now as far as Rivas and Jennings goes, now this fight let's hope Rivas doesn't sustain any type of fluke injury or nasty cut or anything like that. All right, now that fight's going to be in Quebec City up there in Canada. Okay, now this fight, Rivas and Jennings, that's set for January 18th. It's going to be for IBF International title. I know that NABO is going to be on the line and the NABF, okay? My only thing about this, before I even get to the style breakdown, is can Oscar Rivas pass a eye exam here in the States? All right, now, the last couple years, you guys have seen my videos. If you haven't seen them, you can go ahead and type it in the search box here on YouTube, and they'll pop up. But he had a fight with Gerald Washington that was canceled. And he had a fight with Amir Mansour that was canceled. I really wanted that Mansour fight to happen, man. That just has fight of the year written all over it a couple years ago. But anyways, Rivas couldn't pass the eye exam. Both of those fights were canceled due to him not being able to pass the eye exam. He had problems with his right retina. So, I mean, my fingers are crossed, man. I want him to pass the eye exam. I've been wanting him to pass the eye exam the last couple years, man, as far as him getting a fight down here in the States. So hopefully this doesn't, thwart this fight from happening, But I guess time will tell, man. I guess we'll see. But as far as the style breakdown, it's another fight that I like, man. Based on, Jennings will give you an inside fight. He'll put that high guard up, and he doesn't mind standing in a phone booth and slugging it out with you. All right. But I think the thing for him to do in a fight like this, man, is kind of fight the way he fought against Boy Tapul the first couple rounds of that, or maybe like the first 2 rounds of the Fedosov fight, where he's actually using his jab, maintaining his distance. You know what I mean? Use that jab, man. Use that 84-inch reach that you have, man. Use that. Set up your right hand. Just move a little bit, because although Oscar Rivas is undefeated, he beat Kubrat Pulev in the Olympics in 2008. He was a good amateur. He's a solid pro right now. The one thing about Rivas that I noticed, man, is when he fought Silveira Luis, all right, that fight's on YouTube. I thought it was, look, man, I thought that fight was debatable. I mean, that's just what I saw, man. But Luis was giving Rivas some movement, putting a jab in his face and giving him that upper body movement along with moving on his feet. So he was pretty much turning Rivas into a plotter in some rounds in that fight, man, where he was just missing, and he needed to be set to punch. Now, I have seen Rivas kind of shoot jabs from his hip and throw fast combinations and pot shot a little bit, but really he wants to, get mid-range and let combinations go, all right? But in that Luis fight, man, I think that's his toughest fight as a pro. That's just my opinion. You guys can leave your opinions in the comment section, man, but I thought that fight was debatable, man. And I think if Jennings can do a little bit of that, a little bit of movement, some upper body movement, pumping his jab, when you do get on the outside, or on the inside rather, maintain that tight, high guard that he likes to pose in the ring. Let your shots go, work the body, and then move around a little bit. Mix it up with Rivas. But I think just standing in a phone booth, slugging it out, anything can happen. And if that type of fight, I really don't know who's going to win. You can pretty much flip a damn coin if they fight like that. Because Jennings is a lot, the dude has a lot of grit and determination, man, that I think gets overlooked sometimes. You know what I mean? And I think on the inside, he's not a bad fighter on the inside. I think he got out-slicked, and I think he got walked in the uppercuts by Luis Ortiz, who's a very, very crafty puncher and a powerful puncher as well. But Jennings, man, I think on the inside is a pretty decent inside fighter, man. You guys haven't seen that footage of him and Derek Chisora, and Derek Chisora is one of the better inside fighters in the sport right now at the heavyweight division. You guys will look at that sparring session. I posted a little clip of it of Chisora and Jennings, and they were banging it out. You know what I mean? I know it's sparring, but they were banging it out. You know what I mean? And that was in preparation for Chisora getting ready for Carlos Takam, all right? And then Jennings, his last fight with Dimitrenko, some people thought that the stoppage was premature. But the shot that put Dimitrenko down, man, when Jennings hit him with that uppercut was an inside shot, man. It was an inside uppercut. You know what I mean? So Jennings can give you what you want on the inside. Rivas, I've seen him, work mid-range, but sometimes when he's on the inside, he can kind of get a little bit sluggish and lethargic, and he'll try to hold and take little breathers and rest on the inside. And Jennings is a workhorse. He's in excellent shape, and it's going to be interesting to see if Jennings will allow Rivas to take a break on the inside and rest and, catch his breath on the inside. It's going to be interesting to see, man. But I like this fight, man. I really do. I think it's a really good fight. Hopefully, fingers crossed, man, that Rivas passes his eye exam, man, because I've been wanting to see this guy fight the Gerald Washingtons and the Amir Mansours, guys, a couple years ago. You know what I mean? I still want to see him fight Jennings and Brazil and Konowski and Jarrell Miller, and you name them, I want to see Rivas in there. You know what I mean? So that's my opinion on this fight, man. As far as Rivas, what he can do to Jennings is just try to force Jennings, try to take his jab away from him. Bob and weave, like Rivas can do, bob and weave, use his own jab to initiate, but try to take Jennings' jab away from him, cut the ring off, and just force him into a mid-range type of slugfest. That's, I think, is Rivas' best bet. But again, Rivas can be a little bit quick on the outside. If you're not moving and you're right there, he can pop shot you with jabs and throw quick combinations himself. But when you're moving and, giving him upper body movement and leg movement, foot movement, that's when I think he has problems here and there, all right? That's my opinion on the fight. You guys let me think in the comment section. I'm gone.